Give me the manager's perspective here. What do you do? Like, is it fixable first? Or are we looking at maybe, we've never seen this before, 4 losses in a row for Pep Guardiola at the beginning of,
I think Pep,
you know what I'm going to say, the beginning of the end.
I think Pep will be delighted they're coming up to a break, because him and all his coaching staff are going to have a long week sitting down and try to figure this out. Yes, they've got some injuries, but it feels like something's coming to the end with this team. I don't think I can remember the last time I saw a Man City team that didn't react to going behind.
Yeah.
Because although it was around the 85th minute when Brighton scored the second.
83rd, I think. Yeah.
There was still 15 minutes to go. You got 9 minutes extra time.
And they had Kevin De Bruyne on the field. They had Bernardo Silva on the field.
And they really didn't have a response. We saw one half chance for Guardiola, but there was nothing. There was no response. It almost looked as though they had nothing left. I mean, we're not even at Christmas, and they look jaded. They look jaded by the end of the game.
And so I think teams now are just, at this moment in time,
they're not scared anymore.
Correct.
I refuse to do it. I refuse to write off Manchester City. In the ESPN pundits, they're saying that this is the beginning of the end. Beginning of the end? Haven't they learned their lesson? Don't they know who Pep is? I've seen Pep Guardiola fight off a Liverpool team who got 97 points. 97. They still lost out to Pep. I've seen my team be ahead for 8 hours, and I know, cue the Arsenal banter, I get it. But we still were 8 points ahead, and we still lost to who? Pep's Manchester City. I've seen us win almost all of our games from January to the end of the season, except 2. 1 draw and 1 loss. And we still didn't win the league. Normally, that should win you the league. And they're writing off Pep Guardiola in November. Come on. We got to do better. We got to do better. Trust me, I'm an Arsenal fan. I am not trying to make any excuses for Manchester City. And I wish it's true. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying this phase. 4 defeats in a row. I've never seen it happen in my lifetime. It has never happened before for Pep as well. He has never seen it happen before. I'm enjoying it. But to write them off, come on. That's a bit naive, and I'm an Arsenal fan who's felt all the types of pain I can feel because of Pep. So I am not doing that. And I encourage all my Arsenal fans to not do that. Enjoy this. Don't forget, we're 5 points behind them, even with this blip. If we win tomorrow, hopefully we beat Chelsea tomorrow, we'll be 2 points behind. But we're still chasing this team no matter what happens. Even with 4 straight losses in all competitions, we're still chasing this Pep's team. And I see some people writing them off. Not to make excuses for Man City, but these are the reasons why I'm not writing them off. The injuries they've had this season are insane. We've had injuries as well. But to lose, I know they were on the bench, Nathan Ake and Akanji, they talked about them not being fit. Pep Guardiola during his post-match conference. He talks about how they're not fit enough to start. And the young boy, Poussey, who he actually didn't make any individual error. Maybe because he's so young, he's not in the right position to cut out the opportunity. Maybe that's the reason. What happens when De Bruyne comes back and starts firing again? What happens when Grealish and Doku are finally back? Rodri, they know they've lost for the whole of the season. Maybe this doesn't sound scary to you, but I've seen them do it. I've seen players come alive. Gundogan, for example, De Bruyne, for example, right after a long injury. Last season we saw this with De Bruyne. The season before we saw it with Gundogan. Then he left to Barcelona. And we're writing them off. Yes, they don't have Mahrez. Yes, they don't have all those other people that could have changed the game. But Foden is still there. He has not been himself since coming back from injury. But I will not write them off. I am not going to be that naive, man. I am not. I refuse to. They are still, in my opinion, the favorites to win this league. Liverpool second and we're third. Liverpool only because of how well they're doing this season. And I need us to start piling pressure on them. They need to feel what it means to be leading the table by 5 points. People need to start talking about them more. We're just overlooking them because, they didn't challenge the last 2 years. But listen, the way these teams are playing, Liverpool are playing is insane. They just seem to be doing the business. Today, they could have won by a lot more if Darwin Núñez, could finish. He had a great opportunity from the header. He had a one-on-one that he just blazed over the bar. Mo Salah saving them yet again, doing what he does. 1 assist, 1 goal. On the counter, he's incredible. And Arne Slot, that guy, commentator said something today that I thought was interesting. He found a way to counter teams that are good with set pieces. Aston Villa are good from set pieces, especially corner kicks. What does he do? When at the moment where they think they are their strongest, they are also at their weakest, and he found that in the counter-attack. And today they scored 1, but they could have actually scored 3 if Darwin Núñez, was a little bit more clinical. But their goals came from the counter. They exploited the weaknesses of Unai Emery's side. The Unai Emery that people were telling me are better than Arteta, right? This Unai who's making clear mistakes over and over again. He did it against Tottenham. He did it against Liverpool. Games that he could have easily won. Well, maybe not easily, but games that he shouldn't have lost or he could have not lost. He made it seemingly easy for them. Please, I'm happy with my Arteta. But back to Liverpool, we need to start piling pressure on them because Mo Salah seems to be in the form of his life. And he's an absolute legend. We've seen it for almost a decade now. So we're not surprised. But we need to start piling pressure on every single body that is involved in Liverpool. From the manager who's new, they just need to lose one game. And I feel like all this momentum will just drop. And I need that. Because if Man City is not winning this league, we deserve it. We've been here for 2 straight years fighting for an opportunity to be top. If Man City are off it, they might be off it. I think it's just for now. They will be back firing again. I guarantee it. But if Man City are not going to win it, we need to win it. I am not seeing any other team winning this title and me not having my heart destroyed. I don't think I can take that. So that's my hope. That's my prayer. So starting tomorrow, I need my Arteta and my Gunners to start firing again. We go to Stamford Bridge and I'm very much excited. We have had 2 terrible results, back-to-back losses for the first time in a while. Newcastle lost and then Inter Milan beat us again. I was very pleased with our performance against Inter. I know I didn't make a video on it, so I'm not worried. If we perform the way we performed against Inter Milan, obviously with Odegaard back, so we can at least go through the middle for once instead of just, wing and then cross the ball in. If we can go through the center with our captain and our skipper and our talisman back, we should be able to do the business against Chelsea, who are also on fire. But Chelsea have a weak defense, and I hope we are ready to exploit that come tomorrow. The London Derby, I'll be here. I will be giving you my thoughts on that game, hopefully celebrating, and you guys can celebrate with me as well. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Are we being silly? Are some fans, rival fans, and some pundits being silly to write Pep Guardiola and Man City off? I think they are. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like this video. If you're new, please consider subscribing. It'll truly, truly help me out. Take care. God bless. Peace.